Now, it appears. We're green. Let's see what all these people have to say about it. Mixer says we're good. Assassin got a notification, clearly.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was me.
I have my phone on mute.
Shanzu says YouTube is live, so let's get this party rolling. Welcome, everyone, to another edition, a slightly early edition of the 4GwQPodcast podcast. This is episode number 143 for July 20th, 2017. I am Inferno217. With us this evening, we have a special guest. Hasn't been on the show in a while, actually. We haven't had him back, not that we don't like him, but you know, we know he's very busy with his new endeavors, and we asked him to be on this week, and he agreed. So what's going on, Rand al Thor 19? What's going on, bud?
What is going on, Boston Hammer? Finally, I have returned to 4GwQPodcast. I think it's been like 5 years or something.
It's got to have been
Feels
over.
like that.
It's got to have been over a year, for sure.
It's been a lot. A lot of things have happened.
A lot of things.
Have happened in that time. You know.
Yeah, tell us what you've been doing. I added to our little spinning gamer tags and other tags and such your YouTube channel. So tell us about your personal YouTube channel, how it's taken off and everything.
Yeah, you know, when I originally was a guest on the show, I didn't even have a YouTube channel. Now I do daily videos, you know, whether they're opinion pieces or rants or daily content, whatever it is. So I mean, it's doing pretty well. I think I just hit like 6,400 subs, so doing pretty good. Do a podcast with Jez, Xbox 2, every Wednesday. People seem to like that. Unfortunately, the show that me and you were on, TXR podcast, we had to shut that down. But other than that, everything's going pretty good. You know.
Awesome, yeah. And one of the topics that we're going to be discussing tonight directly relates to a video that Rand put up just mere hours ago. So I'm sure Rand will be an expert on that topic. So glad to have you on again, and glad to know that everything's going well for you, especially on YouTube. Because I know last time we talked, we kind of dabbled with a little bit of the idea of YouTube, and you were like, no, I'm not going to do my own channel. But last time on this podcast, we talked about it, and you were like, no, I'm not going to do my own channel. And now you decided to do it and been growing pretty quickly. So proud of you, bud. Doing pretty well.
Thank you. Thank you, Boston Hammer. It means a lot.
Absolutely.
I love that nickname caught on, by the way.
It did, yes. And Merc305 is in the YouTube chat just posting those hammer emojis. So that nickname is unfortunately going nowhere. So I should just...
It's a great nickname. What are you talking about?
I should just learn to embrace it, I suppose. Well, anyway, it's not just me and Rand tonight. It's a couple of our other regular schmoes. We've got making his 143rd straight appearance, ZPCI Assassin. What's going on, bud?
Hello.
Ooh, sounding really clear tonight. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And last but not least, we got Italian Clowns live from his iPhone because he's having a little bit of power outage problems. But what's going on, bud?
Hey, what's up? I got a mobile hotspot off one phone, the iPhone connected to that, to another mobile hotspot through a VPN, through a router, through another VPN, through another hotspot.
Jesus. Wow.
What's up, guys? Hey, it's the Chicago Slammer, Rand al Never Been Tanner. What's up?
No.
Rand
Sorry.
al Never Been Tanner. Wow. Jesus.
Sorry. That is not catching on. Nobody will repeat that. I know you're trying really hard to make that happen, but it's not happening.
You know what? I will bribe people to repeat that. How much is it going to cost? People in the chat, how much would it cost? How much would it cost?
Wow. Anyway, let's get into the topics. We got 5 main topics tonight. The last topic is kind of going to be like a combination of two subjects, but kind of related to the same theme. So we'll run with it. Usually I kind of go over what we'll be doing today right at the beginning, but I'm not going to do that this time. We're just going to slide right into the topics. But before we do that, I want to shout out the affiliates that we have down in our YouTube description. Go down there, shop through those affiliates. You're buying Splatoon 2, you're buying maybe Fortnite or some credit to buy Fortnite for some reason. Go ahead and go down there, shop through those links. You don't have to buy what pops up. Just click on those links. Do your regular shopping. We'll get a little bit of a kickback for a referral, and we'll use that money directly to do some giveaways on the channel. So thank you, affiliates. All right into it. I mean, the biggest topic of the week, certainly Destiny 2, I would say. The beta is now officially live. Went live on the 18th for PlayStation 4 people. And Xbox people on Xbox One started yesterday. And the closed beta ends tonight, and it goes open to everyone for the weekend. So Friday through Sunday, you'll be able to play on console specifically, not PC. PC is not getting it till August of this year, so next month. And the beta ends for console people on the 23rd. So if you haven't tried it out, you're going to want to try it out tonight. If you've pre-ordered the game, or if you haven't, make sure you jump on this weekend when it goes open to everyone on both consoles. So yeah, I want to go to Assassin first, because I know Assassin's a huge Destiny fan, closeted Destiny fan. Sometimes he hates it, sometimes he loves it, but he always secretly loves it. So, Assassin, you've played a good amount of it. What do you think about what you've played so far? More of the same, or you're encouraged?
I think the money I put towards the pre-order is money well spent. The game looks good, feels good. Great improvements, with story, weapons, maybe not so the weapon slots that they have, which really annoys me compared to Destiny 1. But I mean, overall, it's good. It's good.
Okay. And graphics, gameplay, much of the same or improved, or what are your thoughts on that?
Graphically, huge improvement, I think. Especially with like the weather, like in the first mission, you saw the rain and the wind, actually did something. You can see it go on the ground. You can hear it. The gameplay is the same, but I mean that's not a negative, because the gameplay in the first game was amazing, as it is. So and then the new subclasses. I mean, they're sort of the same too, but they made them better. I think more.
What do you mean
cooler.
sort of the same? Captain America? How's that sort of the same?
Okay, some of it is sort of the same. So like the Hunter, for example, like he has his golden gun, but they improved on it a little bit. He has that blade dancing ability, but he has more of a staff instead of a little knife, which makes him total badass with all his moves. And then you got Captain America over here, aka the Titan, which is OP as fuck, with the roaming Fist of Panic, aka Fist of Havoc, and then his Captain America shield and his bubble. And then the Warlock with her sword and flames. It's all fun and badass.
Well, it sounds like that they haven't really changed the subclasses a lot. You think the transition from Borderlands 1 to Borderlands 2. I'm not comparing them directly, but let's just go there for a second. Yeah, the new classes had completely different abilities for the most part. I know, one of the classes still had a turret in Borderlands 2. And Borderlands 1, kind of the same kind of mechanic, but the other classes had way different abilities. But now Destiny 2 is coming out, and it seems like the subclasses have a lot of the same abilities. Isn't that a negative thing, or?
I mean, not necessarily. A lot of the because they got a visual upgrade and stuff, and I mean, this may not be our whole subclass skill tree that we see, so there could be more, to do stuff with that. Maybe not, who knows, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with the gear that goes towards the subclass, or just the subclass in general, how it can be changed.
Gotcha. Rand, I don't know if you tried it. I talked to you yesterday. You said you were going to try it. Did you get a chance?
Yeah, I played the first mission, and that was it, and I got to play as Captain America, which was pretty cool, bashing all those foes. Right out of the gate, I noticed that the game looked visually more impressive than the first game, and obviously it's not tied down to the 360 and PS3 hardware, right?
Yeah.
So I thought a lot of the particle effects looked better, like even the rain effects. I thought the game just looked better. But I mean, it's still Destiny at its core. Why I like that first mission, I felt like it was really well done. It does make me somewhat excited to actually play through the story. And that is what, as you well know, I'm a big story guy in my games. So the fact that they've come out and they've said, we have so much story in this game that we hope you complain about it, bodes well for someone like me. Like, I'm going to play the game. I'll probably play through the story. I'll do some strikes. And that's about it. Like, I have no interest in then spending hours upon hours redoing all the same stuff to level up. I'm kind of just in it for that first experience, the run through of the story, playing with friends, and that's pretty much it this time, you know?
Yeah, and I'm kind of in the same boat as that. The Crucible, I'm not a huge fan of. Like, in this beta, you know, it's no secret, I don't think at this point, that people know it's really just one story mission, one strike, and Crucible with a couple game modes. So it's you know, you download it for almost 13 gigabytes on the Xbox One. You think that it's going to be something extremely substantial, and it's, you know, you could get let down. I mean, I think it's fair to say that you could be let down on the single player, the PvE content, if you will, because the strikes are co-op, of course. But you know, I'm like you, Rand. I'm pretty encouraged by what I've played with the single player stuff and the PvE stuff so far. I'm much more on board than I was with the original Destiny, and I think even for someone like us, I think it has a high value proposition to get back into the series, especially since everyone has to start over. I know we have friends that think that that's a huge negative, but I think that's a positive because everyone's kind of going to be on the same level playing field. You don't have that feeling that you can't catch up. You know, this is a brand new game, brand new stats, start from scratch kind of deal. So,
and I like how they use that as a story point. Like, the reason you can't do all that stuff is because, well, we just destroyed your home, all your stuff, and all those vaults and everything. They basically just made up a story to tell you why you can't use all your old stuff. Now, you know, I have a buddy DOA. You know him. He's put like 8,000 hours into Destiny. He's upset that the guns aren't going to be different. You know, he's upset that basically everybody gets the same gun. There are no more god rolls. He thinks that makes the game too easy. But then again, you look at it like, I think that makes it more balanced, because now if you're playing multiplayer, you know, there's not going to be like, there might be a dominant type of gun, but at least all the guns are going to have the same perks.
Right.
You know? And we do know that Activision and Bungie really want this game to kind of take off on the esports scene. So I wonder if like that change is for that reason, as well as like the 4v4, which is the smaller game modes, 4v4 plus the set kind of weapons is more maybe geared towards that kind of style of gaming, because we know esports is getting bigger and bigger every year. Mm-hmm. I mean, Evo was just on ESPN2, right?
Right.
Or was just on TV. So I don't know, maybe they made some changes to go along with that. But I've always enjoyed the Crucible. I thought it was fun. It was just kind of like the other parts of Destiny that I didn't really care for, like the grinding and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Can you guys hear me?
I can now, Clowns, yeah.
Do I sound like I'm botting?
Nope, you're not botting at all.
Okay. This setup I got going is making you guys sound like you're botting a little bit. Yeah, but, you know, Rand, I'm really happy that this Destiny 2 is starting all over for everybody, because it gives new players a fair chance to get in there. And I feel very happy about all those people that spent tons and thousands of hours in the raids prior to this. Now I feel really good to say, you can't bring your crap over.
You're mean, dude.
I'm one of those people that put hundreds of hours in the raids, and I don't care. I'm glad that we don't get our weapons back.
What? Why would you? Why? Like, why would somebody who has put that time in be excited that the sequel comes out, and, you know, the 10-year plan that we heard from Activision and Bungie, and now that's all seemingly coming to, you know, going kaput? How could you possibly be excited?
Okay, so if I grab the Vision of Confluence from like year one, the raid, that would be the only gun I would use, because it's like a god tier gun. It has the solar, you know, it does great damage. It's an overall great weapon. If I brought that into Destiny 2, I'd probably never use anything else. This time it gives me a chance to, you know, use everything else. Then Bungie doesn't have to do this stupid balancing that they've done in Destiny 1, where there's like, you know, the Thorn, for instance. It was the most OP hand cannon in the game. You know, they had to nerf it. Instead of just nerfing that gun, they had to nerf everything on the hand cannon side. Same thing with, you know, the Saros regime in year one. That used to be dominant. They had to nerf all auto rifles, and there was a point where auto rifles were like useless in PvE and PvP. So with Destiny 2, with, you know, no god rolls or anything, they can just be like, oh, you know, Soros regime year 3 or 4 or whatever. Let's just nerf that. You know, we don't need to nerf, you know, Soros regime 2 and then, you know, have to nerf another one and another one and another one and so on and so forth. So, I mean, and plus it gives people the chance to play with everything, I think, and test, and I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be turned on a Crucible, to be honest. Like, we played a little bit of that domination game mode. I thought that was fun. I mean, that was in the last game, so I'm not too, like, you know, that's not too new or anything. It's more the same, and I always found that a little bit, you know, to be fun. It's in other games, too, so it's nothing, you know, revolutionary for Destiny. You know, the gunplay is amazing, so I guess that makes it even better. But that other game mode, what's the name of that assassin? I don't even remember at this point, but...
Search and destroy on steroids.
Essentially, search and destroy on steroids. So that's new to Destiny 2. And I think they're trying to make that a big feature. And you know what? I'm kind of with Rand. I think that game mode kind of serves an esports purpose as well. I think, if anything, that game mode... in and of itself kind of spells out to me that they're gunning for esports audience. But Assassin, What did you think of that game mode? I know when we played it, we kind of were a little terrible at it. I know you better than I, but what did you think about that one?
Well, if the matches didn't last to the first person to get 6 wins, if it was like 3 or 4, maybe even 3, like that would be, I mean, it would be fun with, you know, a group of friends, not necessarily yourself, because you can't really communicate with anyone unless you're in game chat. So, like I said, if it was just lower rounds, then I think it would be fine.
Gotcha.
You know, let me tell you my experience with this, because I'm the one that got Assassin and Cody to play that with me. So I was playing that, right? And, you know, there's 4 people on a team. So Cody and Assassin makes up for 50% of the team. Well, just like 2 stupid dogs, they sat there and they found hiding places and sat while everybody else played. And, of course, my team lost.
Assassin's got this big grin on his face, like that's exactly what happened.
You know,
is.
We found a spot out of the map that we could just hit on, you know, like a corner. We were on a boat, and, I mean... Gotta use those strategies.
Gotta go for those strats, yeah.
Boat strats.
Yeah. Rand, you said you didn't play any Crucible, but you're familiar with this game mode, correct?
Yeah. I've seen people stream it. You know, it's like what, you have 1 life. You gotta either like charge a bomb or deactivate the bomb or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good mode for Destiny, although it's a little bit on the shorter end. I mean, usually Destiny is all about like building up your superpower in the multiplayer. That game kind of seems a little bit too short to do that, unless they accelerate how fast you gain your super. To be honest, like I went into Destiny 2 with an open mind, as I do most games, and I liked what I played of the first mission. So I will be playing the game when it comes out. And I'm just not... I'm putting my expectations low. Because, you know, previously my expectations were through the roof for Destiny. Because Bungie was my favorite developer. They made my favorite franchise. So I was expecting so many good things about Destiny 1. Like, I was... Like, at the sci-fi setting, I was expecting, like, the moon. And it didn't turn out, and maybe that's why I was so disappointed in the game. So now, I have no expectations for Destiny 2. So if the game's good, then that's great, you know? Like, better for me.
Right. And I think that's the way to go into it, because I know, obviously, like you kind of just said, you know, Destiny 1 had all the hype going around it. Bungie's really first thing since Halo. Everyone expected, you know, similar types of greatness. And you know, some people were satisfied. I mean, for me, I don't really want to, you know, go online and read a book to find out the story. I kind of want to be told the story. So that instantly turned me off. And it was sad because you know, the gunplay is superior. The gunplay in Destiny is really, you know, top 3 of all FPSs I think I've ever played. I think the gunplay is very, very good. So it kind of sucks to have to get away from that, because I felt like I was just doing things mindlessly. And yeah, you kind of spoke about, you spoke about the grinding issue and why that kind of turns you off, Rand. And, grinding for me, and I think grinding for a lot of people isn't really too big of a deal if you're kind of grinding for a purpose. But in this game, to me, like, I felt like, well, in Destiny 1, I should say, I felt like I was grinding just for nothingness. And in that atmosphere, like, why would you even do it? Whereas Destiny 2, if I'm grinding and I'm, it's similar to what I played in the story mission in the strike that's in this beta, like, I'm all for that. I'll be willing to grind for better gear. I even said to Assassin on this beta, can we do the strike again, grind for some better gear? Because the strike was excellent. I mean, I'm just really, really impressed with what I played. I don't know. Maybe it's because I had the subtitles on too. I was really into the story too. So,
but knowing that, like, nothing, like, because we'd assume nothing would carry over from Destiny 2 to Destiny 3 in 2 or 3 years, right?
Right, of course.
Would that even make you want to grind? Because, like, people were under the impression that this was a 10-year journey, that your stuff would all carry over, but then the rug was pulled out from underneath them, and now literally nothing, like, there was, people were, like, grinding because they thought, like, okay, I want the best gear, but then I'm thinking the best gear is going to come with me in the next game. Now it's not. But, like, now that, are people going to be less inclined to grind in this game, knowing that it may very well have no bearing on Destiny 3 down the road? Like, what's the point of grinding the raids 100 times when there's, it's not going to help you any? I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. I think there is a subset that will be turned off because of that. I agree with you. But, the casual, well, I don't want to say casual because I'm not sure casuals really play Destiny and grind, but the average grinder, I think, on Destiny or any game for that matter, I don't know if they're just, like, forward-looking like that or if they just want the best to be the best. You know what I mean? Like, everyone wants the best to just say they have the best, or, back then it was like, I want that Galahorn, or I want this, I want that. So I think it's more like a status thing, or it was more a status thing than wanting it to necessarily transfer over. That said, I think there are people that are going to be turned off by it. I think I agree with you on that. Assassin,
dude, this game is going to sell bucket loads, dude.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like,
So
the amount of people that were, like, just streaming the menu, and how many people were just waiting to play this game is gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be the best selling game this holiday or this year, but it's definitely probably gonna be up there. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
it's gonna sell very well. I mean, I don't know if PC is really going to poach a lot of the console market. I really am interested in that because I did see it at E3 running on a PC, and it was godlike, the visuals and the smoothness. So I would really be interested, and I know come August when that PC beta comes out, I will definitely be running on my rig.
And all the huge streamers and YouTubers will be playing that version of that game.
Oh, on PC, yeah, absolutely.
Like, that game. Remember, because Maka did a video, and he said, out of all the games he played, because he played them all just like you, like, played all the games, he said the most visually impressive game at E3 this year was the PC version of Destiny 2.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like,
without a doubt. And
it's going to be 60 frames because, like, come on, we don't want to get into the discussion, but 60 frames matters in a shooter, Yeah.
And I'm glad you kind of brought that up because, like, I was playing, the Strike with Assassin and Clowns last night, and I'm saying to myself, the 30 frames isn't too big of a deal to me in this game mode, but then we play Crucible, I'm like, fuck it, I need 30. I mean, I need 60. Like, the Crucible, I thought I performed worse because I had 30 frames per second. And that may sound blowhardish, but I think that's the honest to God's truth.
Well, do you like, question for you then, are you going to stick with the Xbox One X version or Xbox One version? Or are you going to, if you have a PC that can handle it, will you just start over on PC to get the better resolution with that better frame rate? Or are you just going to be like, well, I'm going to play with all my friends on Xbox?
Well, yeah, I think I'm more in that camp because, well, I've already pre-ordered an Xbox. But even if I hadn't, I think I'm more in that camp because I just have more people to play on Xbox. But, if both were equal, I think jury would be out. I would have to see how well it ran on my PC because I think the Xbox One X version, as much as, they're being hush-hush about whether or not it'll be improved, I think the visuals will be improved. I don't think it's gonna I think it's going to be certainly better than the Xbox One vanilla or the slim version of the game. And I think it'll definitely be on par, or if not better than the Pro version, even with the marketing rights and all that nonsense. But will my PC run it significantly better? I'm not sure. But if it did, and the Friends thing weren't a problem, yeah, definitely get it on PC without a question.
Well, because you know the PC version is going to be native 4K 60. And you know, Digital Foundry ran their PS4 Pro thing yesterday, and I'm pretty sure they said it was checkerboarded up to 4K, but dynamic, because it would still drop in spots. So I wonder how that's going to perform on the X when it launches in November. If it will be native, or if it will be checkerboarded, but it'll always maintain the resolution and not drop. I wonder how that'll play out.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, time will tell. I think that those kind of details are going to be held until certainly after the PC beta. I don't think we're going to find out, after this weekend that the X is going to have it at, 1800p or whatever it is. But we shall see. Want to get to one thing really quick in the YouTube chat. Couple good comments. One thing about the carryover thing we were talking about. Boogie says, the carryover thing, they should be used to that because once the expansions came out, the prior stuff was obsolete anyway. I mean, yeah. I guess that's a fair point, I think.
Hey, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I may have to drop off the cell phone and try on the PC.
All right. We'll be here.
All right.
And then my brother's in the chat. He says, hey, did you guys hear that Best Buy charges a $20 beta access fee if you cancel the pre-order after getting the code? That can't be for real.
It is. I saw it.
Really?
Yeah, but apparently if you call customer service, they'll immediately drop the charge.
Interesting. Oh, Assassin, you've been figured out. Don't cancel that Oh, well, you didn't do it at Best Buy, but...
No, I would have done it on Amazon.
Yeah, why would you do it at Best Buy?
Yeah.
Amazon is the easiest one to do it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, some people have that Gamers Club unlocked. I'm losing all this shit. They have that Gamers Club unlocked, so...
Yeah, but it would just be easier, I think, to do it on a computer because you buy technically on Amazon. You're not really spending anything. You get your code, cancel it.
True.
Just boom, boom,
yeah, true.
done.
Right from the comfort of your couch or whatever. Yeah. All right. I mean, Jizzle just said in the YouTube chat again, Gamers Club unlocked, but Prime has that as well. Like, a lot of people have Prime as well.
I have something better than Gamers Club unlocked.
Oh, yeah?
It's called game sharing on Xbox.
That is...
You ain't gonna find... You'll get new releases and everything for 50% off. It's better than anything you could get at Gamers Club unlocked.
There you go.
Destiny 2 for $30? Yes, please.
That's right. Share the cost, right?
Yep.
Clowns, you back in?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
And you guys don't sound like RoboCop and the Terminator, so we're good.
Excellent. All right, before we get off this Destiny 2 stuff, Assassin or Clowns, do you guys have any more to say about this? Or
One thing. What do you guys think of the new, the weapon slots? Like in previous Destiny, it was primary, which was your, auto rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannon scouts, and then we had their secondaries with shotgun, snipers, fusion, and then heavy and MGs. And now in Destiny 2, it's you got your primary, your connect weapons, which is just like normal bullets from pistols, some machine guns, like basically everything except shotguns, MGs,
right.
et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And then you got your second one is your I forget what it was called, but those same guns in the first one, but with an element towards them. And then the third slot is shotguns, fusions, rockets, and whatever I missed.
Grenade launchers.
Yeah.
I personally like it. I think it's more simple actually. I think I know that my second slot is the elemental primary. At least in the beta, from what I play with my Titan, the primary was kind of like my go-to thing, and I know, I liked the fact that my secondary slot was, I just picked between whatever elemental I wanted, and I went to that whenever I needed elemental weapons to break a shield or what have you. I liked that I knew that my second slot was reserved for that almost, and I liked the fact that you know, you could see possibly guns that you're familiar with in your primary slot and that secondary slot just with elemental effects. You know what I mean? I kind of like that about it. But the super thing, the super ammo, the third slot, that's largely unchanged. No, I mean, just because that's shotguns in it, or
shotguns, fusions, and snipers.
Oh, okay.
What about like one of the things I kind of thought was a missed opportunity for a sequel was not having a new character. You know, because each of the three classes are still there, and they have a new class or a new whatever you want to call it. But like for a new game, I expected maybe a new character that is completely, you know what I mean? Instead of just the same old three. I don't know. Maybe I was expecting too much from a sequel.
No. That's kind of like what I was getting to earlier about the Borderlands 1 to Borderlands 2 thing. Yes, there was one character that still had a turret going from Borderlands 1 to Borderlands 2, but then the rest of the three characters, or four if you have the DLC, or actually up to like 8, I think. 7 or 8. Those were completely different, and I think that made the game fresh. And if they were the same characters carrying over to Borderlands 2 with a new story, I don't know if I would have been as into it, because, you know, knowing in Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 that if I were a Destiny 1 player and I was going to Destiny 2 and I knew that essentially my skills and my, you know, supers were the same, you know, I would be personally pissed. Now, I didn't play a lot of Destiny 1, so I'm perfectly okay with it, but, Clown, you got a thought on this?
No, I mean, I agree with Rand. Like, I was hoping for new characters too, because I mean, I love the Hunter, and I don't really like Destiny 1, but I love the Hunter class. And when Assassin was telling me, you know, there's like Sentinel and stuff, I didn't understand that was a subclass. I thought it was like a whole new character, so I opened the game up, and I'm like, Assassin, where's the Sentinel? He goes, no, it's just a subclass. I'm like, oh my god, are you serious? I was like, they didn't add new classes, and then they go ahead and they, you know, knock down the PvP down to 4v4. I was like, come on, man, where's the creativity?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, at least this game has a proper villain now, which you are introduced to in the first like mission. So, because the first game there wasn't really a villain per se,
right?
At least not one that was like forefront. It was just basically you're fighting the darkness, and the darkness is minions. This one immediately introduces you to, you know, the Cabal leader, and he looks like a badass, and he's just like, I'm taking your light, bruh. And you can't do anything about it. So I like that, as you're actually going to have a villain that you're going to be fighting through most of the campaign. I
kind of wish there was a twist, though. I kind of wish there was like a villain class that you could play as. I think it would be a flip to the story and be kind of badass.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see it. Maybe it would be nice if you know, since they didn't put that in the main game, if they had some sort of expansion where you could play on the other side. That'd be cool. I know other games have done that.
Yeah, absolutely. Destiny, I mean, it has the potential there. Are they going to develop the story enough? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But has the potential for sure.
Mm-hmm. Assassin, last word on this? Pissed off that there aren't new characters, or?
I'm not really pissed off, because, like, you know, as for the Hunter, Titan, Warlock, like yes, some of their abilities are the same, but like their subclasses make them different. So they're not. It's not like Borderlands 1 to 2, where, you know, if they were the same, those, you know, you can't like switch, you know, your abilities. So, you know, you pick, I forget the new, whatever, Gunslinger for the Hunter. You know, you pick that, you play a certain way with them. You know, same thing if you picked the Blade Dancer or the Titan with the bubble shield. Like, you're not going to go around, you know, Fist of Panic everything. You're going to want to, you know, support your team. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, a bunch of it is towards your character, but everything plays differently.
Mm-hmm.
So we might even see different subclasses that could totally change up the whole game.
Yeah, I think they would need to. I definitely think they would. They would have to do that, because, I mean, in this game, at least it makes sense that, you know, the Hunter, Titan, Warlock, like, those are the three Guardian classes. Like, it makes sense that those would remain the same, be called the same thing. But if the subclasses weren't, you know, drastically different, you know, in the future, I think people would be, I think it would get stale for a lot of people. But I don't know. I'm not a hardcore Destiny player, and I know we have fans that are. So we're kind of going to move on from this topic in the interest of time. But we want you guys to let us know. Obviously, hit us up on Twitter, 4GwQPodcast. Hit us up individually at our individual Twitter handles if you would like. Or if you're watching this later, hit us up in the comments and let us know what you guys are thinking about the Destiny 2 beta, because it's probably the biggest topic of the week, and it'll probably be a pretty big topic going forward until its release on, what, is it September 6th or 9th or something? 6th?
A Wednesday, which is weird.
Yeah, very weird. All right, we got to move on. Definitely a shorter topic than Destiny 2, but something interesting that really surprised a lot of people, even though it was hinted at back in June. Atari is releasing a new game system, and they're calling it the AtariBox, and their promotional email that they sent to newsletter subscribers said that the thing can do both classic and current gaming. So no details on what either of those mean. Classic, you could probably deduce, from Atari's history that means, Atari 2600, such like games like that, Pitfall, etc. Maybe a little bit of Pong action, if you will. But current gaming, what the hell does that mean, right? This thing, if you look at the back, we have a picture cycling in this slideshow. If you look, the thing has, what has it got? It's got like 4 USB ports. It's got an Ethernet jack, which is probably gigabit. It's got an HDMI port, so it's not just going to be, 480p games or 480i, like old or even lower that Atari games, where it's going to be, HD remakes at the very least, or remasters or what have you. There's an SD card slot, which is interesting. I wonder what that would be for. The other ones I can't really make out. I don't know exactly what they are, but yeah, kind of interesting that Atari may be getting back into the fray. Do you think that's what this is, or do you think this is like an Android box and that's what they mean by current gaming? What's your guys' take on this?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Assassin.
No, go ahead. You talk first.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't want you to forget your thoughts, man.
I probably will, but go ahead.
Well, I don't really think it could crank out a whole bunch of power. I think that maybe they might go for like a streaming type service, stream current gen games, possibly. I hope it's not like a copy of all those Android systems that could do like Liquid Sky and stream, like Steam games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's my thought. I don't think that could really handle a whole lot. Other than that, streaming, yeah, but other stuff, I can't see it.
Got it. Assassin, you were gonna have a thought on this?
I think they saw Nintendo's cash grab on their old stuff, and I think that's their way of gaining a little money.
Yeah, interesting that you said that, because like exactly when you said that, Invader Gaming in the YouTube chat said milking Nintendo's success, and I think a lot of people have kind of. It looks like an old Atari, too. They even have a version with the wood panel on the front. The ribbed black appearance on the top is definitely an homage to the old Atari systems. And so you would think that what you're saying is true, Assassin, that it's just going to be a hearkening back to classic games, kind of what you and Invader are suggesting. It's going to be like the NES Classic, the SNES Classic that's coming.
I got to interject. I see what you guys are saying because they're doing the retro wood panels, but I don't think that would happen because the old Atari 2600 games kind of sucked for this generation. Mm-hmm. This generation would not invest in it. Maybe Atari Jaguar stuff, but DLC downloads possibly. But other than that, no, it would not cash grab, and they know that because their games would not succeed in today's generation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably not. And this has been done. Like, there have been Atari systems with the controllers, with the joysticks, and you plug it into your composite input on your TV, and you play your Pitfalls and your Pongs and all that shit. And so this has been done a bunch of times. So it would be weird if this new company, Atari kind of went defunct in 2013. So we know this isn't, Atari proper. This is a company that kind of snatched up the rights. I don't even know the company name, but nonetheless, If they were just going to do that, that would make little to no sense. And why would you have so many USB ports? So it's got to be something more substantial, I feel. But they say classic gaming. I'm sure they're going to throw that in just to milk on Nintendo's kind of success. But Rand, I know you're excited for Atari to jump in. You're going to get off the Xbox and move over to this new Atari box, right?
Totally. Well, like Mr. Chris Steele said in the chat, I'm digging the wood paneling, bro. I'm digging it. Mm-hmm. Like, I like that picture right there of the wood paneling. I think it looks really cool. Who cares about this? Who cares about our Atari? Who cares about all those old games? This is crowdfunded too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Ooh, that
this
I
is
don't
like
know. That I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's crowdfunded. I could be wrong, but who is this for? Because they don't have any IPs that people want like Nintendo does. And when they mean current gaming, what exactly does it mean? What is current gaming? Because this gen, you basically have like again, we just talked about Destiny 2, all the way down to the smallest indie. Is like the smallest indie that comes out like this week on Xbox. A game that's 8-bit or whatever. Is that considered current gaming? Is like where is the line drawn here? So,
Yeah, maybe that's the play. And yeah, I mean, I've seen some people kind of suggest that current gaming would just be, what you get with Apple TV, like ports of mobile games like Crossy Road or, Super Mario Run. I mean, that obviously wouldn't be on Atari, but let's just say, for example, something like that. Monument Valley, like very popular mobile games coming to this Atari box, and then they're dubbing it, current gaming because people are playing those on their phones.
Come on, Mike. It means it's going to play Anthem at 4K 60.
Obviously.
Better than the X. Better than the X. I don't know, man. Like, I understand why people want the NES Mini or the SNES Mini because people have love and appreciation for a lot of those games. Where's love and appreciation for any of Atari's games? They went under, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, 2013. Yep. This is
nobody cares about Atari. This thing is dead on arrival,
bro. If this thing is packing a GTX 1080 inside of this, I want you back in the show biting your tongue, bro.
Dude, I heard it has a Ryzen, dude.
Ryzen. Yeah.
Ryzen. Absolutely. I heard it has Ryzen on the inside.
Custom Ryzen.
I heard and this is real. I heard that if you stream this on Mixer, you get partnered.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, got to be getting one, though, because that's what we're going for here. Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, though, people going crazy about this and all these sites reporting on it, they're just doing this because it's Atari. If this were anything else, this would be getting no press. So I thought we would mention it just for fun, but come on. Is anyone here getting this? Let's be real.
Slow news week, Mike.
It is slow news week. It is.
Slow news. I mean, when Atari is your number 2 news item of the week, yeah, something's
well, you can't forget the other mini that's coming out according to Polygon. I mean,
yes, just recently.
N64 mini
already registered in Europe, I guess. Which Nintendo would be stupid at this point not to do it since everyone's going nuts about the SNES.
And that's where they can stop. They can stop at the N64 mini because nobody's going to care about a GameCube mini.
Uh-oh. Clowns, I think, disagrees with you on that.
I think that Nintendo's fans would still buy it. I think it's a cash grab for Nintendo because it's so cheap for them to make, especially with the cost of like internal memory and flash going down. So they could put like 20 games on there, like Donkey Kong, Super Smash Brothers. I mean, Super Smash Brothers on the GameCube is still used in those underground competitions. So I think,
yeah, definitely
games like that would make it sell. I never really liked my GameCube, but now that I don't have one, I wish I played everything like Super Mario Sunshine. And they put those games on there, and that thing's gonna sell like hotcakes.
Oh, I think it'll sell, but I think the nostalgia factor would be completely gone at that point.
Yeah, because I'm the next up. Nobody's gonna buy the next one up.
Right.
Can you imagine if they packaged an N64 mini with like Mario 64 and like WCW versus NWO Revenge or like WWE Mercy? Oh my God!
The best wrestling games ever made.
Oh my God! I'll get one. That's like my high school. Like when I worked, my first job I ever got was at KFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we, after like every shift, I would take home all the stuff that wasn't sold, right? And like, so all these chicken fingers and all this chicken. I go over to my buddy's house who had a 64. All my friends would come over and we'd sit there, veg out on this fucking KFC chicken, and play WCW versus NWO Revenge all night long. It was incredible.
Those games were
it was popular.
Those games were the best wrestling games ever made. I don't think anything's even come close to that. If they redid that, for the Xbox One X, something like that, 4K, 60 FPS, old school Mercy, WWF Mercy, whatever, I'm in. I'm in. Charge me $60 for that. I'm in. Assassin, I feel like you have one last thing to say about this Atari box, or
No, not really.
But
No interest.
you're in on the GameCube Mini though.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a GameCube. I loved that thing. Maybe because I was younger. And same thing with the N64. I would buy both those in a heartbeat.
Clowns, what were you gonna say, bud?
I was gonna say, Assassin, since you're, a millennial of this generation for gaming,
No.
would you go back and play all those old school Atari games?
I think it was Atari when they were selling some of those weird things with that you plug in your TV. They had like a certain amount of games.
Yes.
Yep.
I think I had a few of those, and they were cheap and they broke very easily.
Yeah, they were trash. Yeah, kind of gave Atari a bad name. Kind of sucks. Well, we're being corrected in the YouTube chat. It was WWF No Mercy, which now that I see that written, I feel like an idiot for calling it just Mercy. And WCW versus NWO Revenge may have been better than No Mercy, now that I think about it. Although Jizzle Rand and Clowns, Jizzle saying WrestleMania 2000 was the best one.
I think the arcade one was the best one. The WWF arcade.
The arcade one was good, but like, why I think the WrestleMania 2000 one might be better. The one that we all played at the time because it was new was WCW NWO Revenge. So that's where all my memories are.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
Good point. Dude, those black cartridges, those cartridges were so sick back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, so good. All right, no one cares about AtariBox. If you're planning on getting that, let us know. Don't hate us for trashing it, but I mean, come on. We saw what happened with Ouya, so please don't be another Ouya. Please. All right, other news this week. Kind of not news, but just a heads up, I guess, that Nintendo Online makes its debut tomorrow with the release of Splatoon 2. You can now use Nintendo's online service. It is free for the rest of 2018, but after that, it becomes $4 a month, or I think it's like $8 or $9 for 3 months, or I could be wrong, or $20 for the whole year. So if you're gonna buy it, you probably should buy the whole year of the online service. But you can download the app right now on Google Play or the App Store on iOS. No Windows version. Sorry, Jez. Sorry, anyone who has a Windows phone still in 2017. God help you.
What year? I know. What year is it in front of? They still make those things?
No kidding. But yeah, everyone is taking this news and they're not excited about Nintendo finally getting their shit together with online. They are mocking it. So we talked about a couple weeks ago on the podcast what you need to do to get this thing working. You need the phone app. You need to then plug into this dongle your phone, and then you have to plug a cord from your Switch, which then plug into your wired headphones if you want the both mixed. Or you can just plug, a headset into your phone, and you won't get game audio through it, but you'll get the chat audio, which is in this day and age ridiculous for most people. And then people are also shitting on it because on Twitter somebody called Nintendo out because in their FAQ section of the Switch Online, it says, if I use my smart device's other features like text, social media, etc., will I be disconnected? And yes, you will be on Android and iOS. If you try to multitask in any way, shape, or form, you are disconnected from Party Chat. So get a text in, you want to respond to it, disconnected. You want to check something on your calendar, see if you're available, disconnected. You want to check an email real quick, send a quick email, do a quick Snapchat, disconnected from Party Chat. So So what are you guys' thoughts on this Switch Online? I know it's probably not a big deal for a lot of you guys, but I mean, how could they be so stupid with their implementation of this?
It's Nintendo, dude.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to be like modern?
Well, I thought the potential was there to be modern because I think everything about the Switch speaks modern to me. From owning it, I think, the Joy-Cons, yeah, I'm not using them necessarily for motion controls unless I'm playing ARMS, but I think that motion controls work really well. I think the package is built well. I think the screen looks great, even though it's just 720p. I think the docking to undocking response is excellent. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of storage on board, but you can easily expand that, and the game cartridges are, easy to pack away in my carrying case or whatnot. And I think the Pro Controller, albeit $70, is an excellent controller. So, yeah, I mean, I know this was all in the plans before the Switch even launched. I know this was, from the get-go. But at the same time, like, multitasking on your cell phone, like, that's the whole reason you have a smartphone. You're supposed to stay in the app the whole time. That's ridiculous. At least I think it is.
I mean, what you just talked about there was all like kind of hardware and software. Which Nintendo's always kind of been good at hardware, and they definitely do some interesting stuff on software. They've never done online good in any form. So, like, to expect that, the online would be functional and represent like PSN or Xbox Live or something. I don't know. Like, to me, it's just another reason. Like, this is what I expected. To be honest with you, this is at least what I would come to expect from Nintendo and online. I don't think they really care about it.
Yeah, but the writing has been on the wall, and people have been trashing them for years about their online service. And you think that with a system that's supposed to be so social, I mean, for Christ's sake, almost every game.
Yeah, but Nintendo's idea of social is actually being there with people. Like, the Nintendo's idea of social is completely different than Xbox and PlayStation's. Their idea of social is everybody sitting around the couch playing the game together in the same household. That is Nintendo's idea of social gaming. Microsoft and PlayStation's idea of social gaming is you're playing by yourself and you're playing with your friends online. They're two different like philosophies on what is considered social gaming.
And you got people, and they should just listen to the audience, because this is, I mean, yeah, we can rag on Nintendo all night about not listening to their audience and their missteps in a lot of regards, and why that kind of led to its, downfall in the Wii and the Wii U era. But nonetheless, you see people on Twitter trashing it, saying like the original implementation of Xbox Live on the OG Xbox 15 years ago was better than this, and they're not lying. And that's kind of pathetic that almost 2 decades ago, there was better online gaming on a console than there is on, like, the Nintendo Switch. That's pathetic. They're just so tone deaf. It's ridiculous. Sasson, you look like you're approaching the microphone, trying to speak a couple times. What do you got to say about this?
Nintendo's just stupid. They need to, like, go outside and maybe come to America a few times and see the average gamer, and then go back to where they go.
Well, the Switch has been very successful, so I think they're doing something right. But man, I think this online thing is going to turn off a lot of people. But then the people will side skirt it and do things like what I've been doing. I mean, I've done a couple Mario Kart 8 deluxe matches where I've just popped onto Discord and chatted through Discord or some other, IP, voice over IP service, and that works infinitely better than I think this is going to work. And Xbot, you make a good point in the YouTube chat. He says you'll get kicked out of the app. You'll get kicked out of the voice chat if you go into another app, but once you go back to that app, you get put back in the party. It's not like you get kicked from party. It just, like, mutes you and removes you from party temporarily. And yes, that's true, but I mean, the whole play about being on a smartphone app was so that you can, join parties and, matchmake on the go and from a smart device and everything. And even though you will jump right back in a party, it's taking the smart functionality out of your phone. Why not do it? You know, if that were the case, why not have it built into the system then? You know what I mean? I feel like that's just an excuse for it to be built into the system if your smartphone can't do multiple things while being in party. It makes the app just seem more useless, in my opinion. Clowns, I know you have a Switch. Do you have any thoughts about this?
I just think Nintendo is probably doing this intentionally because they don't want to get a real system set up. So this is like an excuse to say, hey guys, don't even bother to try. Just use like TeamSpeak or Skype or something else on your phone while you play on the Switch. Yeah,
and you know what? They get your money anyway. You have to pay whether or not you use this functionality or not. The online service includes, like it does with Xbox Live, it includes matchmaking, online play in general. So you're gonna pay that $20 whether or not you use this VoIP. So I mean, I would be curious to see how many people actually use this shit versus, other more functional equivalents like Discord or TeamSpeak or what have you. Assassin, you don't want to Switch anymore because of this?
No, I still want to Switch. I want to, beat everyone here in Mario Kart and Splatoon and potentially Mario Party, whatever, and other games that you guys suck at.
I would destroy you in all of those, all the above.
Yeah, sure.
All right, moving on. People hate the Switch. I get it. You guys all suck. All right, moving on to some sort of big news, but was kind of expected, at least by me. But a lot of people went nuts about this yesterday on Twitter. Telltale spilled the beans yesterday at San Diego Comic-Con. It kind of leaked ahead of time that they were kind of working on something, and then they said that they weren't working on it, and then they leaked, then they announced at San Diego Comic-Con that they are working on another season of Batman Telltale, the second season of The Wolf Among Us, and the final season of The Walking Dead. All are due out by 2018. So, Batman, I think a lot of people loved. Rand, I know you did a few reviews of that. Wolf Among Us was, I think, universally loved by everyone. I think people put that in the top echelon of Telltale games. And The Walking Dead, a lot of people are just happy to see that go, I think, at this point. But Rand, are you excited for the new Telltale stuff? I know you kind of into the Batman stuff. I don't know how you feel about the
Yeah. I'm excited for the Wolf Among Us season 2. I thought that was a series we'd never see them do again. After playing the latest Walking Dead, my interest in that series is just I have no interest basically. And the Batman stuff is cool. Like, I can't wait to play Batman. But the thing with all this stuff is, like, from what I understand, a lot of the people that used to make Telltale great, because I think there's been a drop in quality in these games, they've all left to form their own studios and make their own games. And I think that's an issue. So I think they're relying on the Batman license to draw, interest. I mean, they just did a new Minecraft season 2, which is obviously based off of Minecraft. I think The Wolf Among Us is maybe like they know people want that, so they're bringing it back. But I don't know. Like, after playing this new season of Walking Dead and this current season of Guardians of the Galaxy, like, my faith or my enjoyment from the Telltale games is at an all-time low.
Really? Wow.
Like, I think their quality has decreased as their input or output has increased. And I think it's directly related to all the people who actually made the company what it was and great originally have all left to form their own studios. Right. So,
yeah, all those people leaving, watering down the product with just releasing so many things in the same year. It's just, Telltale has gotten kind of a negative reputation for that. But then this news comes out yesterday, and I feel like everyone's, back to Kumbaya loving Telltale again.
It's because people wanted the Wolf Among Us.
Yeah,
they've wanted Wolf Among Us because that was if you ask people what was their favorite Telltale game, it's either Tales from Borderlands, Wolf Among Us, maybe season 1 of Walking Dead, and all those and people were like, we want Wolf Among Us because it's probably their most mature one, But like obviously, I don't think sales were very good because they would have done it right away if sales were.
Right.
So people have been asking for that. Like, give us a season 2. It ended on a cliffhanger in season 1. Please do it. And it's been how many years now? I mean, I think Wolf Among Us was
2014, I think, for the original Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, so you're looking like 4 years in between.
Yeah.
So I understand why people are excited because people really did love Wolf Among Us. Mm-hmm. So.
Sasson, probably another huge Telltale guy, and I don't think you were too down on Telltale lately, but I could be wrong. What are your thoughts about this new info?
I'm glad that they're putting out some new stuff, but I wish they weren't doing The Walking Dead. I would love to see like maybe a Game of Thrones season 2 or something near Borderlands, Tales from Borderlands season 2 or something. I mean, we just finished, I feel like, The Walking Dead season 3. We don't need a season 4 already. Like, give it like a year or two, bring it back.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think they have like this false pretense that The Walking Dead is what keeps them afloat. Like, that's the series that is very popular and that is what they're known for. But at this point, like, I feel like more people with I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Walking Dead games. I like Tales of Borderlands quite a bit, and the Wolf Among Us I've only played through about half of, and I think that's excellent. But my thoughts about what I've seen from people talking about the Walking Dead, it's more about, oh, finally it's over, than, we're getting another season already. It's like people are happy that it's ending versus. Because they call, even in their promotional materials, the Walking Dead Telltale series, the final season. It's not called season 4, the final season. I feel like people are more excited about it being, finalized. It's crazy.
They should partner up again with Disney and do a Star Wars. I feel like that would just sell very well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, I know a lot of people didn't really like that. You think Disney's kind of like gun shy now about partnering with them? You think they would be like less likely at this point?
I feel like Star Wars is at least bigger than Guardians of the Galaxy. I could be wrong, but there's just so much hype around Star Wars that it would sell so well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Clowns, what do you think about this news, bud?
I'm very happy. I like Batman a lot. I love Wolf Amongst Us. I loved our first review on that too. It was one of my favorites of all time. And The Walking Dead, I'm with Assassin on that. Like, I kind of wish we'd see, Game of Thrones season 2 over Walking Dead. But it is what it is. I'm just happy they're coming out with new stuff and they're just keeping it going, and hopefully they don't stop. I mean, I want them to do more Fable stuff from the comic book series. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a question to get off this, but I mean, it's a reality. I think if these three, Wolf Among Us is not going to bomb, but if Batman bombs and Walking Dead bombs, is Telltale starting to wind down on this kind of stuff, or do you think they just keep trudging on?
I think they'll keep trudging on. Actually, a while ago we got a PR briefing, and I gotta find it, but it mentioned that they opened up investment, I believe, to like HBO and the parent company of HBO. Right. So I think with that type of stuff in there in the company, they'll have more ideas on other shows they can do. I think they'll just keep trudging on.
Yeah. Rand, you think they just keep going on, or you think the end is near if some of this stuff really fails?
No, I think I think they'll keep on going. I mean, like, I think Batman was well liked enough and has enough appeal that it'll probably do well. I think a lot of the core fans will buy Wolf Among Us when it comes out, and Walking Dead final season. That's going to mean a lot to a lot of people. Maybe a lot of relapsed fans will come check it out. It's actually kind of smart when you think about it.
The naming, you mean?
Yeah, like The Walking Dead, the final season. Like, I think all three of these are good, and they'll probably sell well. I mean, Minecraft story season mode 2 like is already out, so that sold well just on the basis that it's Minecraft.
Right.
So I don't really think there's anything to worry about. What I'm worried about is the lack of the lack of quality, the fact that their engine is god awful and they need to fix.
Right.
So that's what I'm concerned about. I'm sure they'll find other people to partner with and make other games in 2018. Whether it's there's that rumored leak that said it was like a couple months ago. It was like that they were working on Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. I don't know if you remember this leak. Do you remember this?
Vaguely.
So it was the first inkling that we knew Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 came out, right? Or was in the works. They announced it, and then some guy's like, oh, I have all these leaks, and now I think it's legit because of the Minecraft thing. It was also in that leak was the Wolf Among Us Season 2, the Tales from Borderlands Season 2, and a game based on the 007 license, like James Bond. So we'll see if that happens. Isn't there a new James Bond movie coming out next year?
Is it next year already? Wow.
I think so, or something like that. I don't know. So
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope that would have bombed already.
You guys are haters.
Well, did you see the last James Bond movie?
I saw it. Yeah, it was not very good.
So bad.
It was not very good. I agree with you on that. But yeah, they're not going to change that engine anytime soon because they got to have the engine be able to run on everything, including your TI-86 calculator or whatever it is. So, maybe it'll start running on Roku's and shit like that. Actually, it may already be on Roku. It's on everything. They're not going to... If they change the engine, and risk not having it on, like, mobile, I don't know where it sells best. Does it sell best on console or does it sell best on mobile? I'm not really sure.
That's a good question. Yeah, really they haven't really said, have they?
I don't think so. But it is on pretty much everything as it is. I was going through like my TV's app store recently, and I saw Telltale, and I was like, "Fuck it, done." Like, I can't believe it's on my TV. But
Jizzle said it could run on the AtariBox.
Yeah, there you go. Telltale announces AtariBox ports of all of their series coming out.
Yep, and that would be considered current gaming.
That's current gaming. That is current gaming. All right, let's move off of that and go into the section that will end the show, but it is two topics, like I said at the beginning. The theme of this is, should gamers not adopt games at the beginning of their life cycle? Because there are two games that, one is a little bit sneaky by the developer / publisher, and one is more forthcoming, but seems like if you had waited, then you get a hell of a value. So we'll start with that one. Doom announced that update 6.66, get it? Wink, wink, get it? Update 6.66 includes all the multiplayer DLC for free, and that the game is now permanently discounted to $15 on all digital platforms. So digitally on PC, on Steam, on PSN, and on Xbox Live Marketplace, you can buy it for $15. And the multiplayer progression has been completely revamped in a way that the rewards aren't random. You have actual challenges to unlock the stuff that you actually want. So they've completely revamped it to suit the needs of pretty much every multiplayer game there is. And now people should be happy with the way you unlock stuff instead of just getting something random that you're not going to use. So yeah, a $40 value, I believe, is now free with a game that is now only $15. So you get an exceptional single player experience that was Doom. And now if you're a multiplayer guy, you will get a $40 DLC for absolutely nothing. So, should gamers have waited on this, or is this kind of a shitty move by id Software, or what do you guys think on this?
Well, it sucks to be day one adopters of the Season Pass, but this isn't the first time we saw the Season Pass go free, at least with EA Access with Battlefield and Battlefront. But I feel sorry for all those guys who did buy it. But the multiplayer sucks, so don't even go play it.
Right.
See, I'm not one to feel sorry for people that spent their money of their own free will on something. Everybody knows things can happen down the road, right? Xbox One X, or the Xbox One at launch was $500. We were forced to buy a Kinect, right? Even though we didn't want to connect, we were forced to buy a Connect. Sure enough, what was it? How many months later did they drop the price $100 and then ditch the Connect? But it's like, you're an early adopter, not only to hardware, but of software. So yeah, Doom comes out at $60. You want to play it right away? Drop the money. You want the season pass stuff right away? Drop the money. Everybody knows that in 5 months, in a year, the game's going to be extremely cheap. So, I mean, if you've spent your money out of your own free will thinking, and think about it, like, you got to enjoy free like those maps that you paid for a year. Now you have people that are like, well, I wouldn't have bought the season pass if I would have known that it would have been free a year later. And I think that's maybe where some of this might stem from, because and Titanfall 1 did this as well. Remember, they made all the DLC free, or the season pass free forever.
I do recall that.
But I mean, it's just business, really. I mean, if you don't want to pay $60 for Doom right away, wait half a year, or hell, wait. What is it? Usually 3 weeks,
yeah,
and it's like $40.
Yeah.
It just happens. So.
Yeah, I mean, with this one, this game's been out for over a year. At this point, I think they're kind of, I think the multiplayer progression revamping aspect should have happened way sooner than now in order to salvage whatever little Doom had in playability on the multiplayer side. But, I mean, you're right. Companies do this. They don't necessarily announce it like Bethesda did here and say, the season pass is now free and it was a $40 value. They don't go out and, make press releases that get picked up on the big sites or podcasts like this. But at the same time, like, companies have been doing this for a while. So if you're pissed that you were an early adopter and you, paid $40 for the DLC and $60 for the game, like, that's the price you pay to be an early adopter, bro. Like, sorry, but you played this over a year ago, and the last DLC for this game and the season pass, I believe, came out like in December or January at the latest. So you had a 6-month lead head start, 7-month potentially. That's what you paid for. You don't necessarily pay for the content. 100% of that isn't just for the content. It's for the exclusivity, for the early access. Obviously down the road, this game was going to drop in price and the DLC would drop in price. So just because it's free means, that you shouldn't have spent the money. You should be refunded. I know people on Twitter were saying they should have been refunded for the DLC, for the season pass. Like, I couldn't believe I was seeing people say that.
I can see maybe like a few weeks you decided to buy it, but a year, no.
Oh yeah. Say this happened like 3 months after launch, and then we're like, oh, the season pass didn't sell as well as I thought it did. Oh, as we thought it was going to. Sorry, we're going to just make it free. And then they didn't refund people. That would be bullshit. But it's been a year, and the last DLC came out 6 months minimum ago. Maybe 7 even at this point. So, sorry. That's kind of like what happens, and you get what you pay for. So,
I mean, for all those people that did buy the season pass, right? I don't even think the servers were populated long enough to justify the price. So I do think that kind of like Bethesda should do something for them, because I don't think people were playing it that much, to be honest. It was terrible. Then on the other hand, like you said, when you played in the beta, you should realize for yourself, how that felt. We all said it sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have a better argument there, saying that you're buying the DLC and no one's playing it, so therefore there's no value to it. I think that you'd have a better argument there, getting your money back. But just saying that it's going free a year later, and complaining about that they are announcing that it's free and the game's only $15 and you should be refunded, I think that's pretty ridiculous. And yes, YouTube chat, the DLC is just multiplayer. It's not. There's no single player DLC for Doom. So,
and I mean, the other thing too is for Bethesda to do something like this, they must realize that it really didn't do that well as they thought it would. A lot of hardcore Doom fanatics did not like this one.
Right. And they're moving on. Like, Quake Champions is coming out. Doom plays a lot like Quake Champions in many regards. It's not a carbon copy, but it plays a lot like it. And they know the hardcore people that they wanted to get on Doom they're gonna move over to Quake Champions, whether it's on console or not. So, I mean, like Rand said, this is good business. It gets the servers repopulated. It gets people interested in again, and why wouldn't they do it? So, I don't know, Rand. Do you have any more thoughts on this, or?
Yeah, it's just gonna for $15. Doom's a great game. People are gonna buy into it again, and then they'll know that hey, they have all the multiplayer maps, so maybe they start playing multiplayer. Maybe they get hooked on that. I think it's great. Maybe Doom will have second legs. Probably not. But it's actually, if you're wanting to do something like this, now's the right time. Right in the middle, like in end of July, early August, not really much out. You want to get a couple headlines. Look, we're talking about Doom a year and 2 months after the game came out. So, I mean, this is nothing but like positive press. And you'll always see the vocal minority complaining about, well, I paid for this a year ago and it's free now. It happened with Titanfall 1. Yeah, I'm sure there was people complaining that the Star Wars DLC went free on EA Access because that was a thing because that was an expensive season pass. So I mean, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, Doom is even if you just throw the multiplayer out the window, $15 for the single player of Doom. People have been saying in the YouTube chat the single player is excellent. Rand, you agree with that? I know. A lot of people who think that Doom is one of the best single-player campaigns they've ever played. And the action was just there, the sound. I know Tim Dog talking about it. If you hear him talking about it, he can't say too many positive things about it. He thinks it's just amazing. And Spider Daddy in Twitch chat says, wait, they made the main game $15. Shit, I'm going to get it. And I think that's where the real news is. I think the real news is they dropped the price digitally to $15. I think that's what people should be excited about. And making big news about, not that the multiplayer DLC is free. I mean, come on.
Multiplayer is doomed. Pardon the pun. No, but yeah, I mean, $15 for those achievements or whatever, Steam cards, whatever you play on, trophies. I know Rand al PS4 Pro now with the trophies, so it helps build up the collection.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Is this an easy 1,000, Rand, in your opinion, or easy 900, 800, whatever? Take out the multiplayer.
I mean, it has a lot of collectibles, which our buddy Maka has a complete guide for.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really no difficulty, really. Like, you can play the campaign on whatever difficulty you want. Now, it does have some multiplayer achievements, so that might be skill-related,
Sure.
like if you're not good enough to get them. But it's doable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, $15, maybe 1,000, maybe 900, 800, something like that. Maybe worth it for some people, and then you get a good single-player experience out of it. All right, really quick, last topic of the night. Rand already made a video about this earlier today, and it's been turning a lot of heads after people have finally realized that Fortnite is a free-to-play game that they are charging for. A lot of people did not know Fortnite was a free-to-play game. This has been on my radar for a long time, this game, and so I was familiar that it was free to play. But my understanding was that it was going to be free to play right from the get-go, and then you were going to pay money, founders packs and all this crazy stuff that they do in Smite and Paragon and all these other free to play games. You thought that they were going to do that, but no. It appears that the cheapest version you can get is $40. If you want to play now, or else you'll have to wait until sometime in 2018 that they haven't specified to play this game. So if you want to play it, if you want to wait until it's free to play, you can go ahead and make that decision and wait, and you'll be able to get the full experience for free instead of $40, or you can buy one of these multiple editions here.
So I feel like Inferno, then what we're doing is we're paying $40 for console data.
That is the implication. That is the inference.
Well, it's not just console beta; it's also on PC. Like the people that were streaming it like today or yesterday were in the alpha. But yeah, this is a beta release that they're charging early access for, when the actual full release is next year in 2018. And I made the video talking about this because not many people know. The only place you really know is, like, you can Google it, but not a lot of people will. It's on their frequently asked questions page. The question is, when will this be free to play? And they say 2018. But like when you're just looking at this game on the Xbox store or the PSN store or any one of these editions on there, there's no mention anywhere in there like, asterisk, this game will be free to play later on. You assume that this is the final version, right? This isn't launching in early access on Xbox, right? Right. Or any of that stuff. This is like, hey, this is like a full complete game, but there's no mention anywhere that it's basically a beta version that you're buying early access to, waiting for the free release at the end of the year. I think it's a little bit slimy. You could relate this to the Doom news, like where you mentioned like people said like I wouldn't have bought this if I knew it was going to be a free a year later, and maybe a lot of people wouldn't. And in this scenario, I wanted to make the video because I don't want that like conversation to happen. Like, well, I didn't know it was free to play or would be, 6 months from now. Like now the information's out there. They are, of course, hiding it because they want you to buy this stuff. They like $150 for the limited edition.
Right.
Granted, you get 2 keys to give to your friends to play with, but like you're spending $150 on a free to play game that is in beta. Is it just me, or is that there's something wrong with that?
You know what's wrong with this? Where is the team at Xbox that stops deceptive marketing? I thought Xbox was against this type of practice.
Yeah. It kind of makes you wonder if like Xbox or PlayStation are gonna get some sort of negativity thrown their way, like a little bit of blame for not having this in their listing. Like people just assume, and rightfully so, I would say, that those companies have control over their listings and what they say, and it is their marketplace after all. And the fact that their marketplaces don't say that this is free to play, don't you think some of the blame does go back to Microsoft or PSN, Rand? Like that they should be clear about that? Or
I mean, I think they should be clear. I think it should be listed in the stores, but I don't know what their like agreements are with these people. I mean, it's not like the information is there. It's on Epic's page. It says that, one of the frequently asked questions, it's free to play. But I still think it should be in the store somewhere, but it's not. Whether you consider that deceptive marketing or Xbox or PlayStation should say something. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's
under federal marketing laws, they actually have to be specific in the fine print on all listings. So if it's not there, you can file a deceptive marketing claim.
Well, the thing is about that, and how they'll probably weasel out of that, guys, is that the standard edition does come with a few small itty bitty extras. Like, let me go check right now because I can't read the font here. But Rand, I know you could read it clear as day in your video that there are some perks to the standard edition.
Yeah, you get a bunch of different loot pinatas, which are basically their loot boxes. You get XP boosts. I mean, you get a whole bunch of stuff in each one of the different versions that you can pre-order that you get. So
that's going to be their excuse to why they don't have to list it, because the standard edition comes with more than the free to play.
It's going to have to say though that this is the free to play version with these attachments. Otherwise, that is still deceptive marketing.
What? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get around it. Obviously, either they didn't do their research or they think that they're going to get around it the way I just said, because like Rand says in his video, and like we're saying here, like there is a free version they don't want you to know about because they don't want you to wait. They want you to just play it. And honestly, like if this game were in a different time, like if this were at the beginning of the summer and not going to go head to head against stuff like Destiny, stuff like Battlefront 2, the big boys coming all too soon, I may have considered buying this just for the early access, because I'm really interested in Fortnite, to be completely honest. But man, knowing that, by the time I'm kind of through with those other games that are the big hitters this fall in this holiday, likelihood is Fortnite is going to be going free to play around that time, and then all my friends are going to be on it. Why not wait?
Yep.
Exactly. Why not wait? Why not wait and play the game when it's in its full state, like the proper release, instead of like getting just random, like you get XP boosts and loot crates, and I mean, like loot crates are gonna have like banners and sprays. I mean, they're basically worthless, just like the Overwatch stuff.
Right.
They're just kind of be like they're taking the interest in the game, and they're being like, all right, even though we know this game's free to play, we're going to see how many people we can get to play almost full price. I mean, you have one version at $60, a version at $90, and a version at $150. I mean, so they're trying to see how many people they can get roped in now, and then, you know, eventually down the road in like what, minimum of 5 months at least, because they said 2018,
right,
when it goes free to play to everybody. They probably just wanted some revenue now. I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
The FTC has a section under free products, and it would fall under a product that's advertised as free if another is purchased. So basically, you're getting the free product if you purchase these editions right now. So yes, the FTC does actually have a place to file a claim on their website for that.
So basically what the listing should have said is that it includes a game that is free and then includes these other items that have value. Like they can't just hide it.
Correct. Yep, it has to be specified.
Interesting. I wonder if this kind of thing like makes the news wire, because this game is coming out what, tomorrow officially?
Yeah, but see the problem with this is that it not only puts who made Fortnite? I can't remember. Is it
Epic?
Epic. So it not only puts Epic under the scope of possibly an FTC investigation, it would put anybody who sells their products under an FTC investigation as well.
Right, exactly. And that's why that's why I think Microsoft and Sony, and I don't know if it's going to be on Steam or whatever on PC, but that's why it doesn't make sense to me that these guys would allow that without being like 100% assured by Epic that this was okay to list it like this, because they have themselves to look after. And I know that, you know, from Rand, I know Rand's video is going to get a lot of attention in this podcast, like people listening to it, and I know a lot of other people are covering this. It's going to get some attention, and people are going to think the way you're thinking, clowns, and want to complain about this in some way.
So the violation for non-compliance in this type of situation would be a fine per occurrence of $40,654 federally, plus a civil penalty on top of that for the individual, up to $40,654 per violation.
That could get pricey. But then again, Rand, I think you're under the opinion that like you're going to be able to count how many people buy this on two hands.
I don't know. There actually seems to be quite a lot of interest in the game.
Yeah, dude, it looks good.
So I actually think, and we mentioned before, this is kind of the dead time. This is a perfect time to release any game, really. And this game kind of like towers over the others in a certain. It's a 4-player co-op building horde game, and as we know, like co-op games tend to sell pretty well. And I've seen a lot of interest in the Xbox community, the PlayStation community about this game. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people pick this game up and play it.
If this were 30, I would consider it. But then you got to consider what's coming soon. I mean, Destiny in a couple months, like, and then on Fortnite, right? If people have this mindset already, they've already told you that there's a free version. We're telling you there's a free version. If people have that mentality and they're just not going to buy it, it doesn't make sense to get it, because Fortnite is essentially a co-op game, right? I mean, can you play with AIs? I don't even know if you can.
You can. They're like called defenders or something.
Yeah, but the fun of the game comes with the co-op aspect. So if you know that all your friends are just going to wait, what's the point of you getting it? That's why they even include extra keys, because they know people are just going to wait. They include these extra keys for the game because they need to populate their servers, and they know that people are just going to have that wait for the free game mindset. So, and rightfully so, I think. Assassin, I feel like you've been light on this topic. Do you have anything to say about it? I feel like you were interested in this game too, no?
I didn't see much about it. I mean, I know it was a co-op game. I saw a trailer. There was a bunch of loot on the ground, and that kind of interested me. I like loot. But they should feel ashamed that they're kind of tricking people into buying it. Mm-hmm. And they should launch the game for free this year, I feel like. You know, when all the editions come out, they should launch that game.
Absolutely.
Because if people like it, what are they going to see? Oh, I would like to, support this game because it's free. Oh, here's a $40 edition. Oh, I get a bunch of shit. Let me, grab that. Oh, my friends really like this game, but they're broke. Let me help them.
Yeah, and you said that there's a lot of loot in the trailers, and people see this as kind of a game that you can collect a lot of things for, and microtransaction heavy, of course. And yeah, releasing the free-to-play version and then releasing these other versions, I think, would encourage people, like it did with Paragon, like it does with Smite every single day. With any free-to-play game, a lot of people go for the microtransactions for for better loot, for just getting the best stuff. So now people are just gonna wait. The game's gonna become irrelevant, essentially. It's sad. It's kind of sad.
So I got a review code for the edition they gave me was the deluxe edition, which is a $60 version, right?
Right.
So this is what you get in the deluxe Founders Pack. You get game access.
Ooh.
Right, which is kind of weird to say, but you get game access. You get the rare starter hero pack, 8 heroes. Ooh.
Wow.
You get the rare starter weapon pack, which includes 4 weapons and 1 trap. You get the exclusive Founder's Pistol. You get 10 exclusive in-game banner icons. You get 24 daily loot pinata packs.
Ooh.
You get 4 exclusive Founders loot pinata packs. You get 5 immediate loot pinata packs. You get 10 XP boosts. You get 10 giftable XP boosts for friends. And you get 50 extra vault inventory slots. That's what you get for the $60 version.
And that sounds like a lot. You're reading it, and that sounds like a lot. Like, if I had just heard that, I would consider that to be a good value.
Yeah.
And
the $90 version has more of that, plus 1 key for a friend. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it's all kind of like, it's all loot, like it's all like I said, like loot crate stuff. So
right.
So I don't know. We'll see how the game is. Hopefully it's good. I mean, because if it was bad, that would suck. But
yeah, and it would suck if it would suck either way. It would suck if the game is incredible because people aren't going to buy it because they know the free game is coming, so it's not going to be populated and what have you. And it sucks if the game is bad because these packs are like ridiculously priced for. I mean, $150 for this limited edition. If you buy that, I need to speak to you. Like, we need to sit down and have a chat because that is ridiculous. They try to play it off and say a $400 value, whatever they say it is, $350 value, whatever. But come on.
I just posted all the information in the Skype chat for you guys.
I saw that. Yeah, I mean, they could be in trouble. Who knows? I mean, I can't believe they haven't done their research if they're going to pull a scheme like this. I mean, if they were going to make it free to play in the future and they weren't letting people know about that, then maybe that would be a different story. But they're so... If you go to the FAQs, it's absolutely clear. Like they say, it's going to be free to play in 2018. So
yeah, and the problem is it has to be on the actual ad, not on the website.
Right. So
that's the whole problem with the United States government. They want it on the specific ad. Like if they would have said, this game will go free to play, blah, 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 and you're purchasing a Founders Pack, that would be a whole different story because it specifies.
Right. Well, we shall see. We'll see if the game's any good. I definitely want to watch some streams of it. Maybe I can be convinced, but, I'll always have that in the back of my head that it's going to be free to play, so that'll probably dissuade me from buying it.
Well, you can watch the stream tomorrow. Me and Maka, Gopher, and Sam will be streaming it tomorrow, like 7 o'clock. 4-player co-op.
There you go. Nice.
So you can tune in on that and check it out.
Cool.
We did actually interview one of the developers on this game.
Yes, we did. And he was excited about it. I mean, I didn't get I got the opinion from him that they wouldn't do shady shit like this. Like, I know he doesn't run any of that, but I figured that, he said it was free to play, like back when we interviewed him. And it seemed like that this had all the writing on the wall to be something amazing, and that it was going to be a free to play that people actually cared about. And then they do something like this. It's just an ugly move. It's not going to look good. It doesn't look good to anyone.
It makes you think, like, who's working in the PR department over there,
right?
Or marketing or advertising,
right? Well, anyway, it's been about an hour and a half, and usually that's how long our podcasts are, even though we could probably talk about this a lot longer. We're going to end the show now. Rand, thank you for joining us again. We'll make sure that if you'll come back on, we'll make it sure it's not another year before you do so. So why don't you tell all the people where they can find you?
All right. I wonder what episode I was on previously, because this is episode 142. But yeah, thanks.
143.
143. It says 142 in the description, but okay, 143. Really? Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to fix that.
Look at me pointing out something wrong. But yeah, thanks for having me again. I really enjoy doing the podcast. For a long time, me and Mike did podcasts every single day. I missed that,
That's right.
So I'm glad to be on 4 Guys with Quarters. You can check out my YouTube channel, which is just simply youtube.com/Rand al Thor 19. And all my links to social media will be there: Twitter, Mixer, Xbox Live, and all that good stuff. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for watching, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Assassin and Clowns, another good show. Assassin,
no.
How are those cans treating you?
What?
Your headphones, dude.
Oh, good.
Okay, good. Assassin had a little bit of an issue, so what were you
I got something exciting to announce. So sometime in the next month or so, we are going to be interviewing Crypto9095 Xbox. He's on his way up to past like 600,000 YouTube subscribers. And I have a feeling that one day he'll be in Hollywood and past 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Dude, that guy's a riot. We've had him on the show before, probably a couple years ago at this point. Awesome guy. Can't wait to have him back on. Shoot the shit about gaming. He's really more of a personality now than a gamer. He used to be more of a hardcore gamer, but now he's a huge personality, and can't wait to have him back on. So let's make that official so we can announce that. Get that date locked down. But yeah, like we said, this is episode 143. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hit us up on Twitter and Facebook. Facebook, I don't know what's going on with Facebook. We got to figure that out. But Twitter is definitely very lively. 4GwQPodcast is our handle on there. Also follow us on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube. Just search 4 Guys with Quarters. Give us a sub, a like, a follow. If you didn't like the podcast, please let us know why you didn't. We want to know what we can make better. And obviously our website, 4guyswithquarters.com. Check us out on there. Articles, news, reviews, and past episodes as well. So until next time, we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Bye.